Europe was alive, markets were crowded, kingdoms were thriving, families lived their lives, believing tomorrow would be no different from today. But beyond the horizon, an invisible killer was already on its way. Within just a few years, it would change human history forever. Before the plague changed history, Europe was entering a new age of prosperity. Great kingdoms ruled the land. Trade connected distant cities. Markets were filled with merchants from every corner of the known world. To millions of people, the future looked brighter than ever. Far beyond Europe's borders, a silent enemy was already on the move. It began thousands of miles away, along the ancient trade routes that connected Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. For centuries, these routes carried the world's greatest treasures: silk, spices, gold, precious stones. Every day, thousands of merchants crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and sailed dangerous seas, bringing wealth from one civilization. In October 1347, 12 merchant ships arrived at the Sicilian port of Messina. They had traveled thousands of miles, carrying valuable goods from the east. To the people waiting on the shore, it looked like just another ordinary day. Merchants prepared to trade. Workers gathered at the docks. Families welcomed the arrival of new ships. No one knew that death had just arrived with them. As the ships were inspected, something horrifying was discovered. Many of the sailors were already dead. Those still alive were desperately ill, burning with fever, too weak to stand, barely able to breathe. Their bodies were covered with strange black swellings, unlike anything the people of Messina had ever seen. Fear spread through Messina, faster than anyone could understand. Families locked themselves inside their homes. The busy streets that had once been full of life began to fall silent. The city officials ordered the ships to leave the harbor. They hoped it was not too late, but by then, sailors, merchants, and dock workers had already carried the disease into the city. Within days, healthy men, women, and children began falling mysteriously ill. The same terrifying fever, the same painful swellings, the same sudden deaths. Doctors had never seen anything like it. They searched desperately for answers. Some blamed poisoned air. Others believed it was God's punishment. But no one knew the real cause. The church bells rang without stopping. Funeral after funeral filled the streets with grief. Every sunrise brought more victims. Every sunset brought more funerals. Messina had become the gateway for one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, and the nightmare was only beginning. From the ports of Italy, the Black Death began its relentless march across Europe. City after city, kingdom after kingdom. No one could stop it. The entire continent was about to face unimaginable devastation. The Black Death spread with terrifying speed across cities, villages, and entire kingdoms. Within just a few years, nearly 1 out of every 3 people in Europe was dead. Streets once filled with laughter became silent. Homes were abandoned. Farms were left empty. Entire families disappeared, without leaving a single survivor. By the time the Black Death had run its course, between 25 and 50 million people were dead. Nearly 1 out of every 3 Europeans had vanished. Never before had humanity witnessed destruction on such a scale. Farms stood empty, trade slowed to a crawl, workshops closed, entire industries collapsed. With so few workers left alive, labor became more valuable than ever before. The plague didn't just kill people, it changed society itself. Powerful nobles could no longer control their workers. Survivors demanded better wages, better lives, and greater freedom. Europe would never be the same again. Doctors realized old beliefs had failed. New ideas slowly emerged. Cities introduced quarantines, better sanitation, and organized public health. The tragedy became the beginning of modern medicine. For centuries, people believed poisoned air or divine punishment had caused the Black Death. But the truth was very different. The plague was caused by a deadly bacterium, Yersinia pestis. It was carried by fleas that lived on black rats. As merchant ships traveled between ports, the rats traveled with them. Their fleas infected both animals and people. In crowded medieval cities, the disease spread with terrifying speed. Trade had connected the world, but it had also carried one of history's deadliest killers. The Black Death taught humanity that disease knows no borders, that trade can spread both wealth and danger, and that knowledge is humanity's greatest defense. The Black Death eventually disappeared, but its scars remained. Millions had been lost, kingdoms had changed, medicine had evolved, humanity had learned. The plague ended, but its story still echoes through history, because history is not just about the past, it is a warning for the future. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like this video, subscribe to Historical Mysteries, and ring the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter of history. Thank you for watching.